Pre-boarding has become one of the most consequential and least examined stages of early career development in financial services. Finance graduates in 2026 arrive with unprecedented access to information and growing familiarity with AI-generated explanations. What they often lack isn't content, but a real-world understanding of how finance actually works inside institutions. Pre-boarding needs to close that gap. Know-how is increasingly used for this purpose because it explains finance as it's practiced, guided by human expertise rather than automated summaries. Pre-boarding exists to align understanding before formal onboarding. The purpose of pre-boarding isn't just acceleration, it's also alignment. Across large global banks, graduate cohorts may look similar on paper, but their practical understanding of banking, markets, and risk often varies widely. In several early career programs we support, pre-boarding with know-how establishes a shared baseline before formal onboarding begins, ensuring graduates arrive with a common language and frame of reference. Know-how supports this by focusing on how financial institutions operate in practice, how products, markets, and risk connect in real decision-making, the concepts graduates will encounter immediately in their role. Because the content is written by subject matter experts, it reflects lived industry context rather than simplified abstractions. In an AI-driven world, human judgment defines understanding. In 2026, explanations are easy to generate. Judgment is not. In multiple early career programs we work on, we have found that learning teams have observed that graduates arrive with familiarity, but struggle to evaluate relevance, limitations, or downstream implications. This has become more pronounced as AI tools proliferate. Pre-boarding with know-how addresses this by emphasizing the expert perspective, ensuring that context is preserved rather than stripped out. Risk and uncertainty are addressed explicitly. Understanding develops progressively. This approach has proven particularly valuable in regulated environments, where surface-level understanding creates real operational risk. Effective pre-boarding depends on curation, not completeness. One of the most common pre-boarding failures is trying to cover too much too soon. In one alternative investment firm we worked with, early versions of pre-boarding relied on optional access to broad content libraries. Engagement was inconsistent and outcomes were unpredictable. When pre-boarding was redesigned around a curated know-how pathway aligned to the firm's roles, participation and confidence improved materially. Pre-boarding works best when it's focused and intentional. Pre-boarding strengthens learning and early application. Pre-boarding is most effective when it complements, rather than competes with, in-office learning. Pre-boarding supports further learning, so sessions can move quickly into application, discussion, and judgment. Graduates arrive with a shared understanding of foundational concepts, allowing facilitators to spend less time establishing basics and more time exploring how decisions are made in practice. Pre-boarding signals what an organization values. Pre-boarding is often a graduate's first sustained exposure to an organization's learning standards. In large, globally distributed early career programs, this first signal matters. What graduates are asked to engage with communicates, whether understanding or shortcuts are prioritized, how seriously learning is taken, what standards of thinking are expected. Why know-how fits pre-boarding in 2026? Effective pre-boarding is less about volume and more about trust in what's being learned. Know-how brings together human-created content written by experienced finance practitioners, coverage structured around how finance actually works in practice, flexibility to support global, role-specific early career programs. Across banks, asset managers, and investment firms, this combination has made know-how a natural foundation for pre-boarding finance graduates before day one. Find out more about know-how at intuition.com/know-how.